with her when he entered the room some time later, and so called for Milly, Viola's lady's maid. Milly rushed to Viola's side and helped her upstairs to her bedroom, where she remained for the rest of the day, weeping endlessly, refusing food or drink. A pall of silence fell upon the house, and so it remained, with the windows masked with heavy curtains like closed eyelids, until the day of the funeral. And now, just 3 weeks later, the Brookfields were finally being laid to rest in All Souls Cemetery in Kensal Green. As the crowd around the grave began to depart, Viola could not tear herself away. "Just a moment longer," she said to her cousin Agnes, who came up and softly took her arm. "I do not think that I can bear to say the final farewell and leave." "Shall I ask for your carriage to be brought to the end of the avenue?" asked Agnes. "Please, a little longer," pleaded Viola. Agnes moved away from her grieving cousin and joined the throng who were making their way back to their own transport. Viola had not wanted to replace her parents' wrecked car, and now, superstitiously, she refused to travel in any conveyance that did not have a horse pulling it. A chilly wind suddenly blew across the cemetery, and Viola shivered. Her black satin cape was thin and did not provide adequate protection. "Come, miss, the carriage is here," suggested Milly gently. She and the other servants had stood respectfully at the back of the crowd around the grave, and were now making their way to Kensal Road to catch the tram. "I will come with you, miss, if that is what you want," offered the girl. Viola tore her eyes away from the deep trench. She could no longer bear to look at the expensive coffins, placed one on top of the other, with their ornate brass handles and sober plaques. "Goodbye, Mamma. Goodbye, Papa," she repeated softly, feeling as if she was leaving a part of herself down in that muddy trench with them. Dabbing her eyes, Viola followed Milly to the waiting phaeton. The horses were a pair of black stallions, especially selected for the sombre occasion, and the windows were swathed in black curtains. Stepping inside, Viola was glad that they could be pulled to and obscure her from prying eyes. The past few weeks had passed slowly. Each day she had roamed about the house, weeping quietly to herself as she recalled happier times. Every corner held a memory for her, and so, when the letter from her aunt in India arrived 5 days after the funeral, she found herself not adverse to her proposal. "Dearest niece," it read, "I can scarcely bring myself to believe the terrible events that have taken place since I last wrote to you. To think that only a month ago I was writing to congratulate you upon the occasion of your 21st birthday, and now I find my hand shaking with grief as I write this letter. Lord Wakefield, your uncle, and myself, your loving aunt, cannot find the words to describe our desolation. To think that I might never look upon my dear sister's face again fills me with the utmost misery. Your uncle and I have long discussions about what will now happen to you, and we think it is best if you came to live with us in Mandavi for the foreseeable future. You need to be around your family at this sad time, and I would not hear of you going anywhere else. Perhaps, by being together, we can lessen our grief. I realize that the journey will be long and arduous, but if you feel you would like to accept our offer, please write to us at once, and we will make arrangements for you to be met at Bombay and accompanied on the journey north to Mandavi. Fondest love, your Aunt Mary." "India," sighed Viola. The very name conjured up a continent of untold exoticism and mystery. Lady Wakefield was her mother's elder sister, and from what her mother had told her, it had been a whirlwind romance and wedding. Lord Wakefield was a very important man in the province where they lived, and was the governor. Although there was a prince potentate, it was Lord Wakefield who reported directly to Her Majesty's Viceroy. Viola had not seen Lord Wakefield for many years. Although Aunt Mary had visited a few years earlier when the couple had been summoned to court, Uncle Hugo had not accompanied her to their house in Connaught Square. "I wonder if he looks very old now," she asked herself. "He must be at least 50.